Elon Musk, billionaire, entrepreneur, and CEO of Tesla, has just exposed the World Economic Forum. Musk recently tweeted that he is growing increasingly convinced that corporate ESG is the devil itself. But what does Elon have to say about Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum? What was there to hide, and how will it affect you? Join me today in this video as we explore how Elon Musk has just exposed Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. Tesla, Elon Musk's electric vehicle company, fell out of the S&P 500 index this month, comprised of firms that excel at environmental, social, and governance (ESG) concerns, even though it was one of 34 firms eliminated from the index as part of its yearly rearrangement. The company stands out for its emphasis on environmentally friendly transportation. Tesla CEO Elon Musk expressed his discontent with the index rearrangement on Twitter. The world's wealthiest man objected that oil from ExxonMobil, which accusations of climate denial have dodged, was ranked in the top 10 for ESG. Still, his electric vehicle company was omitted altogether. Here's why Tesla dropped out of the S&P 500 ESG index and what it implies for the company. An ESG score is a straightforward approach to assessing an organization's ultimate sensitivity to environmental, social, and governance issues, which are sometimes missed in typical financial analysis. Energy efficiency, worker safety, and board diversity are hazards that can significantly impact a company's profits. A high ESG grade indicates that a corporation manages its environmental, social, and governance risks better than its rivals. A low ESG grade indicates that the firm faces more unmanaged environmental, social, and governance risks than its rivals. The S&P 500 ESG Index, launched in 2019, gauges the stock value of some of the top firms in the United States by market capitalization that fulfills specified sustainability standards. Its scope is comparable to the original S&P 500 index, but it intends to assist investors in making decisions about firms based on their adherence to solid ESG principles. The index's components are screened for participation in some businesses that are considered contradictory to ESG aims, such as tobacco and contentious weapons manufacturer, as well as their scores under the UN Worldwide Compact, a global framework for corporate social responsibility. Finally, the index excludes firms with the lowest ratings compared to their counterparts. The ESG index is designed to give a more realistic picture of a company's corporate social responsibility obligations than what it says on its website. ExxonMobil, JP Morgan Chase, Nvidia, and Apple are among the more than 300 firms in the original S&P 500 index that are included in the ESG rating. This year, along with Tesla, social media firm Meta, pharmaceutical corporation Johnson & Johnson, and vehicle manufacturer Chevron were removed from the list during the annual rebalancing on May 2nd. Meanwhile, Twitter was listed as a target for Musk's takeover, and oil refiner Phillips 66. Tesla dropped out of the ranks after sliding down the index compared to its worldwide industry counterparts, according to Dorn's May 17th blog post. The carmaker's lack of a low-carbon strategy and codes of business conduct, allegations of racial discrimination, and poor working conditions at one of its factories, and the company's handling of deaths and injuries linked to its driver assistance systems were among the reasons she cited for the drop. Tesla's CEO turned to Twitter to express his displeasure with the company's removal from the S&P 500 ESG index. ESG is a scam, Musk claimed that fake social justice warriors had weaponized it. In subsequent tweets, the tech titan mocked the index's inclusion of 6 oil corporations, arguing that a strong ESG score equates to a company's conformity with socialist agenda. In some industries, the notion of ESG has been met with suspicion because it allows corporations and investors to dodge scrutiny for socially harmful actions or investments. According to Bloomberg, the world's largest ESG-focused exchange-traded fund has about 3.1% of its assets invested in the oil and gas sector, fueling the climate problem. Tesla claims that existing ESG evaluation approaches are fundamentally flawed because they don't focus on the company's real-world impact on society and the environment, according to its 2021 impact report. What has all this had to do with the World Economic Forum? There is a prodigious connection between ESG and the World Economic Forum. Let's find out about their relationship. The United Nations first developed ESG ratings, but the World Economic Forum is now one of ESG's most ardent proponents. The World Economic Forum, or WEF, is an annual gathering of political and corporate leaders in Geneva, Switzerland. to debate important topics impacting the global economy, including political, economic, social, and environmental concerns. The WEF was formed in 1971 by Klaus Schwab, a management professor at the University of Geneva. It began as the European Management Forum, but in 1987 it was later renamed the World Economic Forum to broaden its aim to include providing a venue for international dispute resolution. The World Economic Forum, or WEF, is known primarily for its annual gathering in Davos, Switzerland. This annual event brings together corporate and political leaders from across the world for a series of debates on global concerns. WEF's membership comprises some of the world's most significant CEOs, personalities, government officials, diplomats, journalists, celebrities, religious leaders, and union representatives from both the commercial and public sectors. The purpose of the World Economic Forum is built on a concept known as stakeholder theory, which we should all be careful of. According to the stakeholder approach, a private sector entity's focus is to maximize profits for its shareholders. However, the corporation must also consider the rest of the community as having a vested interest in the company's actions. Stakeholders such as workers and consumers served by the firm and the local and global community must be considered when making essential choices. The World Economic Forum is based in Geneva, with offices in New York, Beijing, Tokyo, San Francisco, and Mumbai. The epidemic of COVID-19 necessitated some alterations to the annual World Economic Forum sessions, which have recently become an extraordinary media sensation. The World Economic Forum, or WEF, has been chastised in the past for corporate dominance of global and democratic institutions, as well as systemic whitewashing of the public expense of security programs. The organization's tax-exempt status, opaque decision-making procedures, and membership standards, as well as a lack of financial transparency and the environmental impact of their annual meetings, are all factors to consider. In February 2021, the Swiss national government reduced its yearly donations to the World Economic Forum in response to public outrage. The World Economic Forum is funded by its membership, which comprises business executives and people from different walks of life who are ready to pay yearly premiums and meeting fees. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Apple, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, Pharmaceuticals, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Nestle, and several other firms are among its partners. With such a stellar roster, it's easy to see why the WEF is so influential. 6 regional meetings in Africa, East Asia, and Latin America are held, but the annual conference is held in Davos, Switzerland. WEF meetings are said to significantly impact business and government decision-making by exposing new topics, trends, and organizations to members and the broader public for discussion. The idea that, in the context of technological development, environmental concerns, and the economic havoc brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, the global economic, political, and social system has to be reset, has become an essential subject in contemporary WEF publications and events. Klaus Schwab's 2020 book on the Great Reset influenced some of these talks, meetings, and topics. Numerous reforms are proposed in the Great Reset to solve economic, sociological, geopolitical, environmental, and technological challenges. The Reset is a movement that promotes enormous wealth redistribution. In contrast to the typical rhetoric of billionaires supporting groups like the World Economic Forum funded by billionaire Klaus Schwab, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has sent shockwaves through the aristocratic club that meets yearly to determine where humanity's future is headed. Musk recently addressed the American economy, expressing reservations about the future. Given the past leadership in Washington, D.C., he was chastised not only for his statements but also for targeting the ESG index after Tesla was withdrawn. ESG is a scam, he said. Musk appears to be accelerating his attacks on the ESG index, the Biden administration, and the World Economic Forum, as he inquired as to why the Department of Justice hasn't published the client lists of both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Many other critics seem to join Elon in registering their discontentment with WEF. As the consequences of the plan have become apparent, those who favor accessible business and reject radical social reconstruction have unified in their opposition to the Great Reset. Various evident mistakes have also resulted in the deleting or re-editing several WEF publications and social media posts. The World Economic Forum's words, according to detractors, indicate that under the Great Reset, people would own nothing and have no privacy. It was even argued that it depicted COVID-19's economic destruction of metropolitan economies as a beneficial gain. Other opponents claim that women have historically been underrepresented at the World Economic Forum. In an explosive interview in December 2021, Catholic Cardinal Gerard Ludwig Müller chastised people like WEF founder Schwab for sitting on the throne of their affluence and being untouched by everyday problems and tragedies, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Such technocrats, on the other hand, would regard crises as an opportunity to push their goals. He was particularly skeptical of the influence such people would hold over others, and their adoption of transhumanist notions. As the crisis in Ukraine rages on, food scarcity endangers lives, and the uncertainty about the US-China relationship increases. Geopolitics dominated conversations in Davos more than ever before. The usefulness of the forum structure this year is also debatable, especially as people most impacted by these concerns are sadly excluded from the conversation. Elon is correct. Something fishy is going on in the arena of global governance beyond shoddy ESG standards and conspiracy theories. What are your thoughts on the matter? It might be related to the right to public health or the right to privacy. Maybe it's about having access to nutritious food or having democratic representation. We should be skeptical when the term stakeholder capitalism arises at World Economic Forum meetings. Do you believe the World Economic Forum has something up its sleeve? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Anyways guys, if you want to see more interesting videos, click the video right above. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications enabled so that you don't miss out on the latest Elon Musk news.